What is it that makes a country extraordinary? Its monuments? Its art? Its cities reflecting its history? Italy is bursting with beauty. Beauty you can admire, beauty you can immerse yourself in. But nothing tells the Italian story more than its tastes and aromas. An essence you can only discover when you live it fully. An essence that awakens memory and all the senses, becoming almost tangible in a glass of Prosecco surrounded by the hills. In a pizza, fresh out of the oven at the foot of Vesuvius, taste and aroma transport us to the places where they were created. To the names and origins we proudly protect. They evoke the intimate connection between humankind, enchanted lands, and majestic cities. They are the guardian of our history, the heritage of traditions dating back centuries, living on in the age-old skills repeated by new generations, telling us who we are today while whispering to us about the future, encapsulated in our products and carrying our greatest art, the art of living. And there is no greater value worth protecting, nor better product worth exporting.
Hello everyone and benvenuti to LIBOR's Going Global webinar series. I'm Daniela Diaz, chairperson of the Global Committee for Long Island Board of Realtors. Thank you for joining us today as we explore Italy, a vibrant and highly in-demand market known for its exceptional lifestyle, rich heritage, and growing opportunities for international business. Italy greets the world with calore, warmth, and today we bring a little of that spirit into our session. Our Going Global series is designed to help realtors deepen their understanding of international markets, develop meaningful partnerships, and better serve clients whose real estate goals cross borders. Today, our spotlight is on Italy, a country that blends timeless tradition with modern opportunity and whose real estate market continues to attract a strong global interest. Italy also holds the distinction of having more UNESCO World Heritage Sites than any other nation, a reflection of its deep cultural roots and enduring international appeal. New York and Italy, in particular, share a steady flow of cross-border interest, with buyers seeking second homes, investment properties, and lifestyle-driven opportunities in both regions. Today, we are honored to feature one of LIBOR's newest MOU, Memorandum of Understanding partners, Osservatorio Immobiliare Digitale. LIBOR just signed an MOU with OID earlier this week while in Houston for NAR NXT, and we are excited to bring this new partnership to our members. I want to extend a warm welcome, un caluroso benvenuto, to any OID representatives joining us today, and a special welcome to the president, Alessandro Pasquale, who will share valuable insights into Italy's market. We are grateful to him for joining us and grateful to all of you for helping make LIBOR's global network one of the most active and engaged groups in the country. Together, we are building connections that support real estate professionals, strengthen global relationships, and expand opportunities across borders. Please join me in welcoming our guest, Alessandro Pasquale. Ciao, Alessandro.
Ciao, ciao. Very good, Daniela. Very good.
You
You
see?
wrote it down. You wrote it down, everything.
I know some few words.
Hello, good morning to everyone. Thanks to Daniela and Ivan and the LIBOR Association. We are proud. I'm very proud, actually. I saw the video and it kind of get emotional because I'm very proud of my country. So it's a very good video. Shout out to the to the video maker. So I want to thank you all for taking some time. We will stay together 1 hour and to explore how the business of real estate works here in Italy. As Daniela said, the president of OID, Osservatorio Immobiliare Digitale, who is a bilateral NAR partner. And now we are a proud partner with LIBOR after our recent MOU. Should we start? Can I start the presentation? Okay, so if you see me looking up, it's because I have another screen in the back, so no, I'm not disrespectful. So let me share presentation. Okay, so first of all, yeah, we already did the introduction. I'm also a CIPS designee, and I'm a real estate agent since 2009 here in Italy. First thing first, I want to, this type of events is to connect each other, to find more things in common that we have on real estate, to exchange knowledge and even business. So if you want to connect with me, I am in whatever platform you prefer. And here you can find in the Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. So I want to talk about, make an overview of Italy, because even in Houston, I've been in the NAR convention in Houston, and I've spoke with a lot of American people, and everybody said, "Oh, I've been to Italy, I visit Italy," and once I asked them, "Where exactly in Italy have you been?" And the answer are all the same. So it's Venice, Milan, Firenze, Amalfi Coast, Lake of Como, Rome. And that, of course, are the Italian most beautiful cities and most beautiful areas. But I think my job is to represent the rest of the country, because we have a big, beautiful country, and with such a varieties of type of landscape, cities, and real estate market too. So in this presentation, I want to show you the main difference between the three geographical area of our country, which is the north, the center, and the south with islands. But first thing first, I want to do a quick market overview of Italian country. Last year, as the IRS told us with the statistics, we recorded almost 720,000 residential sales all across our country. And the turnover of the market is almost 120 billion euro. In this moment, euro is a little bit stronger than dollar, so for an American buyer, it's a little bit more expensive to buy a property here, but we will get into it later. One interesting thing that many of you maybe don't know is that almost half of the transaction here in Italy are done by cash, so we don't use mortgage. And that's an interesting thing and a cultural thing, because Italian is very deeply connected with real estate and the properties. For us, we buy one property. I mean, most of the people buys one property when they're young, and I don't want to say they actually die in that, but in the past it should like this. So they purchase a property, they make the family inside the property, everything happened inside the property, and they die and they leave to children. So we have a strong cultural relationship in the real estate. That's why we purchase maybe with a mortgage sometimes, but we stay in the property until the mortgage is paid. And that's the thing that makes our market very resilient, because we don't have too much debt above the market. So we are not, in time of crisis, we are not forced to sell because we cannot afford to pay the mortgage. And there's an interesting things to know when you are talking to an investor, because we don't see market drops of 20-30% in our market, and that's why. That's because it happens. Another thing that maybe you don't know is that a foreign buyer can get a mortgage here in Italy. Our interest rates are low compared to yours. Correct me if I'm wrong, Daniela or Ivan, I think. We are around 3.5%. And a foreign buyer can have an 50% loan to value mortgage. So that could be an interesting option, because I know that foreign investors used to look into the financial of buying a property, maybe rent it out as Airbnb, or having a return of investment. There's a lot of interest in our country from foreign people. In 2024, almost 30% of the total foreign buyers were from the United States. So we saw an increasing demand of American people that wants to buy property in Italy, of course, but in all Europe. So I think this is a great time to know how to talk with an American buyer that wants to buy in Italy, and to give them the necessary information, or the first information that they need to know for a purchase. At the end of this presentation, I will give you some materials if you want to share with your customers and with your colleagues or whatever, if you want to study, because we are here to learn and to study. But we will talk about this later. The average size that American people or foreign buyer are looking to our country is up to 1,300 square feet, 2 or 3 bedrooms, because usually they want to buy a property where they can have friends over, they can have families, or rent it out as Airbnb. And of course, they are looking for an outdoor space. We are well known for our warm weather and sunny days, so people want to stay outside. Let's talk about the north area of Italy. I hope most of you loves wine, so I do like wine. So I put a little bit this symbol, as you can see here. I don't know if you can see in the middle. There's a tower of a castle. This is a typical sign of a typical wine in this region. So I pick one typical wine for each geographical part of Italy, and I will explain you a little bit. So the north is where the Alps are. We are surrounded by Alps that protect us from strong winds and colds. And we have the Padana Plain under the Alps. Here is located the most productive part of our country. Here is where Milan is located. Veneto is the region where I live in, is located. We have Venice, we have Verona. And because of the connection with the North Europe, is a very well-connected and rich area. Here you can find a lot of high prices per square feet. Okay. I write it down here. You can find a very cheap unit outside the main big city centers. And once you are in like Milan or Venice or some of the main cities, you can find some higher prices. Okay. The total length of Italy is 750 miles. Okay, so it's not that big. Okay, we are roughly 70 million people. And the wine in this region, we produce a lot of wine. Red wine is where the Langhe, Nebbiolo is produced. The Barolo is produced here. And this symbol right here is Consorzio della Franciacorta, which is I think all of you knows Prosecco, because Prosecco is the white sparkling wine most famous. But Prosecco is for us let's say a good wine, but it's not the best. Franciacorta is our champagne. So if you want a very good Italian sparkling wine, you have to ask for Franciacorta. The center, you have a variety of landscape, because here you can find mountains, you can find hills, and you can find, of course, the seaside. Italy has a lot of the seaside. We are surrounded, of course, by water. And here you can find in the city center of Italy, where is Tuscany is placed, Abruzzo, Lazio, the Amalfi Coast is located. You can find a lots of natural parks. Il Parco Regionale degli Appennini is one of the largest natural reserve here in Italy. This is important to know because if you buy a property here, you have some restriction in order to do renovation, to build something or to do anything on the property. So it's very important to know what the people, your buyers looking for, and to understand which type of services he's looking for. Because if he's more into walking and stay in the nature and everything, this is a perfect opportunity because you can find some very old and rustic property inside the natural reserve, and or you can find something on the coast where it's busy, where you have tourism, you have clubs, you have a lot of movement, let's say. Of course, you can find a lot of charming houses and land under 100K, but you can find even a lot of, if you go in Rome or Naples or in the main cities, you can find something very expensive up to 1,000 or 1,200 per square feet. So it's important to understand you don't have only the main cities, but you have even the outside of the main cities. In the picture here, you can see the Saturnia thermal pools. You can see the Gulf of Naples. You can see Riviera Romagnola is a very long strip on the sea with a lot of fun, a lot of clubs, bars, and whatever you need for your family or for your vacation. Let's talk about wine. In this region, you can find the famous Chianti Classico, okay, the one from the Hannibal Lecter. It's amazing Chianti, you know the film. When you're looking for a wine in this region, they're particularly they're very good with red wines. Okay, so when you're looking for Chianti, you have to look for this symbol right here. This is the Consorzio dei Chianti, and once you have this symbol on the bottle, it means it's the regional Chianti of the region. And then we have the south, our beautiful south. You can see even from the pictures, south is a very particular countryside with some historical buildings and good weather and amazing food. This is a type, if people wants to buy, there's a lot of immigrants from South Italy that went to New York, especially. There's a big Italian community in New York, but from all over the United States, there's a lot of people from South because in the past, the South there's no such thing, there's not too many infrastructure in the past and businesses, and so people migrate to get their luck in another country. Even a lot of people went to Germany, to Northern Europe to find their luck and a job. Now the South has grown exponentially for tourism purpose. You can see here in the picture the Trullo is a typical house in Puglia, very Instagram-like. The city of Matera is built on a mountain, completely on the rock. The beautiful Sea of Sardinia and the Sicilian coast. People that wants to buy here usually are looking to get back from his roots. So there's a lot of American people that wants to have their heritage visa. They want to get back to where the non or the nonna starts in the past. The important things to understand here, because most of foreign people wants to buy a property to retire here once they finish the work, is to know that the difference between South and North and Center are infrastructure and services. If you buy something in the middle of Sicily, you have beautiful weather, beautiful food, amazing landscape, amazing sea, But the fact that it's an island and the fact that sometimes it's not as well served as a northern city like train or international airport, you have something. This is something that you have to consider and something that you have to tell to your customers. Okay. But here, of course, there are amazing temperature and amazing people, so that's one of the good part. This is the part of Italy where you can find a infamous $1 house, €1 house. So this is an assist for Daniela, because she told me that she will ask about this. So that was a great marketing idea to put a spot in the some small city of South Italy. The thing is, you can do that. You can, I mean, if you want, you can do that. Why not? But you have to. This type of properties are usually abandoned structure for 20, 30, or 40 years, and the money that you are going to spend to renovate them, most of the time, are not the value of the property restored. So once you do that, you have to understand that you will probably not be able to get back the money that you spent on it. So be careful when you do that. And having a renovation in Italy in this type of property with this type of infrastructure is very challenging. So if you are willing to do that, good for you. I won't recommend, but you can do that if you want. Um, Of course, here we have some big cities because even in Sicily, um, Sardinia is where Porto Cervo is a very well-known VIP area, and the prices are quite high. Um, but as you can see in the picture, the quality of the nature, the quality of the water, the quality of the seaside, it's like the Caribbean coast. So is where Madonna used to celebrate her birthday in Puglia, so it's very near the Trullo. So you saw some of that on the news on the websites. Let's talk about wine. In this particular area, we have a lot of red wines, but I picked the Marsala Consorzio Tutela del Vino Marsala, which is a typical wine of Sicily. The characteristic is to be very sweet because they leave the grapes on the plant, and so the grapes condensate into very sugar fruit, and then they produce the wine with um, a lot of wood in it. So it's very you have to try it. It's a very particular wine. It's like a Porto. I don't know if you know Porto wine, something like that. But anyway, South is an amazing place. You can find ready to live houses with not that much money. So don't don't buy $1 house, please, for your for your own safety. But you can find some ready to go property, even renovated one at very cheap price. I will show you later some videos of some properties which are very good and I mean not that expensive in compared to United States prices. Let's talk about after this overview of Italy, let's talk about Italia Golden Visa. So there's if you have a buyer that wants to relocate here in Italy, uh, it's pretty hard because you need to get the permesso di soggiorno, which is our visa. There's a lot of people that wants to get the heritage visa because there's a lot of immigrants in the past. So in order to do that, you have to get the original copy of the documentation of your nonna or grandparents or wherever parents immigrate in the past in the small municipality of the south or center of North Italy. And sometimes this process takes 2, 3, or 4 years. It's not that simple. Uh, We have another type of visa, is the Italian Golden Visa. Since 2017, the government did this reform where you can have, let's say, a long-term visa. It's 2 years plus 3. It can be renewable. And in order to have that, you have to invest at least 2 million euro in Italian Treasury bond, or 500K in a company, in a private company, or 250K in innovative startups, or doing $1 million donation to a philanthropic association that works with culture, research, or preservation of nature, or something that helps tourism or whatever is into the country. And these are types of investment that could guarantee you a golden visa, and the process is it's very fast. It's not like getting another type of visa. There are two benefits. Three. I forgot to mention one. The first one, that is very quick. You need just to apply, and you need to proof of funds and a proof of the investment that you made. The second is that you will have a 5-year visa. You can stay here and then bring your residency and whatever you need. And the second one is the fiscal advantage, because once you have this type of visa, it depends on the fiscal from where you come from. But I will read it down to you because I'm not very fiscal expert in English. But individuals who transfer their tax residence to Italy may opt to pay an annual substitute tax of 100,000 euro on the income produced abroad, provided that they have not been tax resident in Italy for at least 9 years over the previous 10. So if you move here, you will pay, let's say you are $1 billion maker, you won't have to pay a double taxation, because that's an issue sometimes, okay? And this option can be extended to family members by paying a further annual substitute tax of 25 grand per family member. And for some people, that could be an interesting option. So if you want to have more information, I can send to you the government guide how to do all these things. And if you want to study, if you have some customers that are willing to understand better this process, I can help you with that. Let's talk to how to buy a property in Italy. So the process is very simple. You have to come. The first thing first, you need the Codice Fiscale, which is it's a tax code. Okay, it's a tax code that you need to have in order to do anything here in Italy. And you can the person. So in the past, it was possible to do it online. You can do on the consulate, but it will take forever. So it's better if the customer, if your buyer is coming in Italy just for a vacation or to see properties around, to schedule an appointment with our IRS. It's completely free. It takes half an hour, and you will get right away the Codice Fiscale. With that, you can purchase things, you can have insurance, you can have whatever you need in our country. After that, you have to find a property, you have to find a good real estate agent, and check all the papers. You don't need, it's not mandatory to have a bank account, because you can send money to the notary, and then the notary can make the payment in the name of the buyer. Another good things, in my opinion, is to have an attorney, an Italian attorney, or something, person of trust, who you can give a power of attorney. You cannot give power. I mean, you can, but if you choose a real estate agent that do the transaction with you, you cannot give to him the power of attorney. So it's better to have an accountant, an attorney, or something else to sign the paper. Doing that gives you the chance to save money on the translation of the contract and everything, because it could be quite expensive. Taxation. So in Italy, taxation is different if you, it depends on who you buy from. So if you buy from a private seller or if you buy from a construction company. If you buy from a private seller, so it's a private owner, you don't pay taxes on the price on the property. You pay taxes on the fiscal value of the property, okay? And usually the fiscal value of the property is way less than the market value of itself. So on the fiscal value, you pay 2%. If you do, it's a fiscal advantage called primary home, but it's very, for a foreign buyer, it's very hard to do that because you need to have residency in the municipality where the property is located. So most of the time you have to pay 9% on the fiscal value of the second, like it's called the second home fiscal advantages. So you pay 9% on the fiscal value. Let's say, let's make an example. You buy a property for 500,000, the fiscal value could be around 200, 250, okay? And on that value, you pay 9%. When you buy at the notary, you pay to the notary will pay to the government, okay? And then you have some small stamp duties, fixed amount, but the most relevant tax is that one. The name is Imposta di Registro, okay? And you pay just one time. After that, if you buy as a second home, you have to pay an annual fee to the municipality, but it's not compared to what I've heard in the United States. So it's like, it could be 600, 1,000, maximum 2,000, depends on the how big is the fiscal value of the property, okay? If you buy from a construction company, let me grab some water. If there are any question, well, I don't know.
We're going to do the question at the end.
Okay, at the end. If you buy from a construction company, the things changed because in that case you pay on the price of the property that you pay, okay? In this case, if you buy as a primary home, you pay the 4% of the price, of the transaction price, but most of the time, foreign buyers are not able to purchase as primary home. So second home, you pay 10% of the transaction value, okay? If it's a luxury home, there are some homes that are considered luxury here in Italy, you pay 22%. So it's important to understand this. When you're looking for a property in Italy, it's very, very important to check all the papers before the offer. Because here in Italy, you don't have home inspection, you don't have, once the deal is done, and the first deal, and you didn't check some papers, it could be trouble for you and the seller. So it's very important to rely on a good professional real estate agent that provides you all the documentation, all the information that you need and your customer need in order to make a quick and safe, I mean, quick, it's a strong word here in Italy because I just closed a deal this morning with two American people and we closed the deal, but the deed will be in 10 months because we have to fix all the papers and there are some, it's hard to explain. So in Italy, you have the cadastral things needs to be correct as the state of fact of the property and what the municipality said you could have built. And most of the time this is not. So we have 3 different papers that says 3 different things. So you need to have all the 3 papers say the same things. And it takes a lot of time to make them correct. So better check everything before making an offer. Or you need to know what is going to happen after you make the offer, because it's very difficult to close So you see a property, you make an offer, and you won't be able to get in 30 days because only the notary will take 20 days at least to check everything and prepare the contract. So you need to prepare your customer that it takes time. And Italian bureaucracy is not fast, as you know, as you may know. So let me see. I actually finished the presentation. It was very quick. So I leave time for question.
For question. Thank you so much again for bringing La Bellezza d'Italia to life for all of us today. Your insights were very
I will give to
valuable.
anybody. You can scan the QR code. This is a book I made with my association that explained how step by step in a very specific way, not as I told you, how to purchase a property. I'll give you some time so you can. But I will send the presentation if you Daniela, if you want to share
Yes,
with
of
the
course,
people.
of course. So now we open the floor for questions. I know we have some. So Evan, if you want to read them.
There's a question that was in the chat that was already answered, but I wanted it to be in the recording also. So I'm going to ask it again. So the question is going back to when you were talking about the the €1 properties that you could purchase. So it's about purchasing those, and don't you need to establish residency there in order to purchase these properties?
No, because it was a marketing strategy to attract foreign capitals. So you don't need residency to buy the property there, but you need to. They force you to renovate it in a certain amount of time and to use uh, construction that are in the same municipality. So that it's something that they use to try to bring to life this, because there are in Italy entire small villages abandoned. So where you can buy like a kind of a mountain with all the village, you buy. There are people that bought this village with, let's say, 30 or 20 properties, and they made an hotel. Is a village hotel. I don't know how to explain, but there are some.
Like in your personal opinion though, so maybe the return on investment isn't something that's so immediate, but with the popularity of this topic, do you feel that, in your personal opinion, is it like a safe investment, or is it like what do you think?
So in Italy we say cattedrale nel deserto. It's cathedral in the middle of the desert. So if I offer you a very big mansion in the middle of nowhere in the desert, where nobody lives, no services, no infrastructure, no restaurants, not anything at all, what you're going to do? So the money that you spend to buy uh, the tiles and the things that you need to go to renovate that property is the same money that you spend to do it in another city. But there, the value after the renovation, the value drops because there's nothing around. So in the majority of the case, of course, not in every case. So you know, location. What gives the value to, you are all professionals, so you know that the value of a property is the location. So the $1 home usually are in a remote location where it's very hard to get, and there's nothing around. So if you ask me a personal opinion, is if it's in a good investment, I would say no.
And these homes are abandoned. Like, is there a title search that's even done on something like this, or is it just like?
Yeah, usually are 4 walls. That's it. I mean, the thing is, you can buy for more than $1, of course, but for 30, $40,000, a ready to live home, or just to do a small renovation in a bigger city or in a better place.
those houses usually are in the south, right? And you say that it's not so much infrastructure like airports or a street or routes to do the construction. I guess it's difficult to do it too.
Yeah, it's because of the landscape of Italy. Because in Sicily you have hills, you have kind of mountains. Even in the center of Italy, the streets are not. You don't have a straight highway with 5 lanes, and you can drive whatever you want. It's all tunnels. It's all going across the hills, the mountains. So it's very tricky.
Since we're debunking myths, right?
Okay.
I don't think I heard you say in the presentation, but can you talk about when you move, about the kitchens and how you like, is that real? Like you move with your kitchen, you bring the
So we do love to cook. Okay, so Italian people, when they one of the biggest cost of purchasing a property is to buy a kitchen, because you want the kitchen that suits you, the kitchen that you like, and all the appliances you prefer. So people used to spend a lot of money on kitchen. So most of the time, they will take away the kitchen if it fits in the new property they're moving in. So when you buy or rent a property here in Italy, sometimes it comes without the kitchen or the furniture in per se. So when you buy, I would say 85% of the time the kitchen won't stay. When you rent, you can rent with kitchen or with all the furniture. But when they leave the kitchen is because it's too much custom fit in the apartment that they cannot bring to another place. So that's why. And they try to make you pay for that.
I want to encourage everybody to participate, and I have something in Italy. Chi domanda impara. Those who ask learn. So, so if you have more questions, please put it in the chat box.
I'll show you. I'll show you some. Let's close the
I have some
presentation.
question though. Like, so what about finance? You say that most of the houses are cash, right? It is.
Excuse me. Do you see the video? Okay.
yes.
So we can talk. This is in Sicily, by the way. You would say about the financing.
Yes, and we have more questions too in the chat box. Okay, yeah, so
So
like financing for like international people.
yeah. So you can finance with an Italian bank. Of course, you need to have proof of income. Uh, Sometimes it's difficult to have to have a loan if you are a self-employee. You need to be a part of a company and to show that your income comes from um, another company, let's say. And you're not. This is one of our partner in OID, by the way. Um, you cannot have a mortgage if you're rich. I mean, if you don't work, if your income comes from investments, you cannot have a
For
mortgage.
example, for these dollar houses, can you get a loan to fix it up? It's just a question.
Uh, to a, so there are in Italy loans to fix it up. I think it's quite hard to make it for a foreign, but it's not impossible. It depends on the condition, everything. So the
Okay.
thing is, you need to find uh, it's always about the people. Banks can do anything, but it depends if they want to do that or not, if they're willing to do the extra mile or not. Because if you find a small bank that works on the territory and they are willing to help you, you can do whatever you want. I mean, you show them the money and your income, and why they wouldn't. The fact that they don't want to do that because yeah, they have to translate everything. It's something very, you have to work a lot to do that. So most of the time they won't do for this reason.
Thank you.
This is a property of on the Amalfi Coast.
That's beautiful. Evan, I know that we have more questions.
Yeah, yeah. One of the questions that I wanted to ask is, where in Sicily is this property located, and what is the cost of the one that you were just showing?
Excuse me, can you repeat? Because
Where is that property in Sicily located, and what was the cost of it?
so the property was 460,000. Was a new construction. I'll check the. Let me check where is it, because this is a village, but I will show you later. This one was in. Let me see if it's still on the market, because I think this was sold. I have to ask to. Sorry, I don't know the exact location. I will get for you.
No worries. Can you discuss the inspection process?
So, as I told you, there's no. We don't have the inspector figure. Okay, so there's not a guy that comes to apartment and checks that everything works. Okay. Uh, One things that you have to understand of property in Italy, we usually don't build with wood, with uh, how to say, so the house that we built, so some houses has 7,000 years, there's 700 years. So I will show you later, like this is made by stone, bricks, wood on the ceiling, so they last like forever. What you can do is to check on the papers, because sometimes you need to have certification on the heating system, on the electrical system, and if you have that, means that the person who did the system guaranteed that everything was done by the law and everything works. Okay, but most of the time, if you buy in a used property, you won't have that certification. The thing is, that's why I said before, you have to check everything before the offer, because after the offer, after the deed, you cannot say, "Hey, but I didn't know that that faucet didn't work, or the heating system do not work well and everything." So you need to be prepared to fix by yourself. You have to get to you have to consider in the offer, if you see something that you need to renovate, you have to consider in the offer, make a lower offer before the deal and not after.
Actually, the realtor who closed on that property is here in the Zoom, and
Yeah, you should be here.
and said that they closed for 460,000.
Okay. Valerio, ti ricordi il paese dove era quella villa? Yeah, he's the guy from my association.
Cefalu.
Cefalu. Cefalu.
Cefalu. Two questions about the closing process. About how long do you think that it would take for the closing of a home for a foreign buyer, and are there like any costs that we would also incur with that?
So, if the paper are legit and you don't have a problem, once you find a property, you close the deal, you get to the notary will take usually 20 to 30 days, and you are able to close the deal. But 80% of the time, the paper are not legit, so you will take much more time. You have to think about that. The seller need to fix. I don't know if it's fix is correct, because it's more than one significant fix to make the paper correct. How do you say that? Fix is good. fix it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's shady. I mean, you have to bring an architect to check everything and to make the paper correct, and that takes time, from 30 to 10 months.
Regarding home prices,
Mhm.
are prices closer to the coast? Are homes closer to the coast more expensive?
It depends. We have a lot of coasts, so it depends on the location, because there are some property nearby the coast in region that are not well known, or there's not a lot of infrastructure or services that are not that expensive. So,
Um, are there property tax and homeowners insurance?
so it's this is funny. It's not mandatory to have an insurance on the property. So you're not forced to have your own insurance. When you buy a condo, usually the building administrator has, there's a building insurance, okay? If you do a mortgage, the bank will force you to have an insurance. But if you buy cash, you're not forced to have an insurance. I mean, it's better to have it, in my opinion, but you're not forced to do that. And
Just
by the tax, as I told you before, if you buy as a second home, you have an annual tax to pay to the municipality, but it's way cheaper than in the United States, because you do not pay that tax on the market value of the property, but on the fiscal value of the property.
back to the other question just for a second about fixing the papers. You're talking about like the title, right? To make sure that the property itself.
And so it's not the title, because here in Italy, the title are the safest of the paper on a property, because the notary here checks 20 years back the legitimacy of the titles. Okay, the things that I'm talking about is how can I explain to you? So when you build a property, okay, the constructor says to the municipality, hey, I want to build this building. Okay, the municipality say, okay, you can build like this, and they make the floor mat and whatever. So because of most of the Italian real estate was built in the 70s, not all the constructors were very precise to build the building. So sometimes they build a building in a different shape, or the rooms are different, or they miss a window. There's a balcony more than what they have been authorized. And after the construction, they didn't communicate this to the municipality. Okay, so in order to make a safe purchase, you need to check the paper, the authorization in the municipality, and they have to be in the same shape of the apartment. Okay, I don't know if it's clear, something like that. And if not, uh, if you buy and you don't check this, once you're the owner, it's up to you to fix that. And you have to pay the architect, you have to pay the fees, you have to pay the fees that the municipality gave you, because it's something that was built without consent of the municipality. That's the thing.
We have something similar here.
So Armando, which is another is a realtor of my association, maybe is trying to explain better. Is the alignment between zoning, cadastral floor plan, and the actual layout of the property. Thank you, Armando.
It's like when you get something done here without a permit, and then if you sell your property, then you need to get the permit for it.
Exactly.
One last question. I know we're getting close to our 1 hour time, so I want to thank you so much for the rapid fire of questions. Are there any restrictions to renting properties?
Usually, there's a lot of people that want to do Airbnb, touristic location, and everything. They are trying, the government and the local municipality, they're trying to regulate this market because there's a lot of hotel owners that are against it. But at the moment, you can do Airbnb. You need to because in Italy we have municipality, the province, I don't know how do you say in English, and the region. So you have to communicate that you want to do touristic purpose apartment, and so there is different type of rentals. You can rent without a contract under 30 days, okay? From 30 days up to 18 months is a written contract. Its name is transitorio, okay? Then you have 3-year plus 2 contract, and then you have 4-year plus 4, okay? But in some sort of way, you can do whatever you want with your property.
Is there any minimum requirements for you to stay in your, like, if you own a property and then you primarily want to rent it out, is there a minimum amount of time that you need to stay in your property?
No.
So you can rent it
You
out
can do
every
whatever.
day of the year if you wanted to.
Yeah, you can buy it for investment and rent it out.
Hmm.
Thank you so much, Alessandro, for sharing such a valuable insight. Thank you for guiding us
welcome.
through the beauty, traditions, and opportunity that the Italian market offers. To everyone who joined us today, grazie di cuore for being here and for your continued commitment to growing globally. Your curiosity, openness to learning, and a spirit of collaboration are what make LIBOR Global Network so special. We encourage you to stay connected, continue exploring new markets, and join us for future sessions in the Going Global series. Together, we're expanding knowledge, building meaningful partnerships, and creating opportunities that benefit not only our members, but also the clients and communities we serve. Once again, un grande grazie to Alessandro and to
Thank you all for
my
your attention.
colleagues of OID. We truly appreciate your partnerships and look forward to many future collaborations. Thank you, Alessandro.
Thank you
Wishing
very
you
much.
all
Bye.
a wonderful rest of the day, and as they say in Italia, arrivederci e a presto. Thank you,
Grazie.
everyone.
Ciao.
Gracias.